Hi, I'm Danielle from 2020 Financial, and I'm part of the team that helped to develop our Pension Drawdown Calculator. I'm going to run you through the calculator today and show you how you can use some of the different settings to understand how much money you might be able to afford to take from your pension pot and how long your pension pot might last. The calculator is there to guide you as a tool, but it shouldn't be relied on wholly to do your retirement planning. The information you're going to see is past performance, and as we all know, past performance does not guarantee future returns. So just bear that in mind when you're using the calculator. We hope that the calculator is useful to you. Of course, you can always reach out to our team if you'd like to speak to a financial advisor for tailored financial advice to suit you. So I'm going to run you through our pension drawdown calculator to show you how you can use it to help with your retirement planning. So if you're wondering whether you can retire on £300,000, you can use this calculator to play out some different scenarios. So what it does is it tests 120 different simulations from 1900 to 2019. So what it's going to do when you tell it how long your retirement's going to be. So here we're going to say it's a 30-year retirement. So we're going to assume that we are going to retire at 55 and that we are going to have a 30-year retirement. So what it's going to do is going to run this simulation across each 30-year length from 1900 to 2019, which is going to give us an idea for how the market has previously reacted. Obviously, past performance doesn't predict future returns, but it's going to give us some sort of idea whether the amount we want to withdraw from our pension is sustainable. So if I imagine here that I'm going to have a 30-year retirement and I put in my pension pot here of £300,000, here you have the option to add in either an amount in pounds. So you can say you want to withdraw £12,000 a year. It's also going to tell you what that is as a percentage. Ideally, you want to be looking for a sustainable amount between 3 and 4%. That is what the experts tell us. So let's start with 3% and see how that runs through with our simulations. Just down here, you can play around with different portfolios. So if you change it to growth, you'll see how that changes the simulations over here. You can change it to cautious and see how that impacts it. And you can change it to all stocks, all bonds, all cash. You can add these in as a custom setting down here. At the moment, I'm just going to leave it as a balanced portfolio. Now, what it's saying here is that in the 120 simulations that it ran, the average final balance was £2 million. So if I start off with 300,000 over 30 years, given the market growth, that is what I'm going to end up with over here. Now, what's interesting is the simulations ending below zero. And this is what you really want to be looking at, because obviously this is just an indication of what's happened in the past. But what you want to look at is how likely is it that if I take this amount of money, it's going to run out. Or it's going to last me. So at 3%, none of these simulations end below zero. So that's telling us that that feels like quite a sustainable amount to take from our pension. Now, what's interesting, if I change this to just 4%, so just 1% more, all of a sudden that jumps up to nearly 21%. So 21% of the time, these simulations have ended below zero. Now you can see here there's some outliers. So you've got some simulations ending below zero. Most are around here. And up here, you obviously have this outlier, which is going to skew your average final balance. So this is 1975, which was when you run the simulations from 1975, the returns are ridiculous in every single scenario. So it's important not to look at this as the rule. This is the exception. This is not the rule. So do not look at this line up here and think that that is going to be representative of the kind of returns that you might be getting, because you can see from this how much of an outlier that is to the rest of the time. So if I start changing this and I start taking even 5%, you'll see that actually 50% of the time that is going to end up with your money running out too early. And as I move this around, you'll see that it keeps going up. So if I take more money, there's more chance that I'm going to run out of money before my retirement finishes. So the other thing that can affect that, let's go back to our 3%, where none of the simulations ended below zero. And if I increase the length of my retirement, so if I live longer, let's say even by 5 years, you'll see there's a slight chance here, ever such a slight chance, that that money is going to run out too early. But if I increase it, let's see, to 45 years, you'll see again that these simulations ending below zero are just jumping up slightly. So on the lowest simulation, you would end up £700,000 short in retirement at taking £9,000 a year. So you can play around with this calculator. You can play around with length of retirement, and you can play around with your annual withdrawal rate. Now, obviously, when you're planning for your retirement, you don't know how long you're going to live. You know how much you can play around, and you know how much you can take every year, but you don't know how long you're going to live, which is why it's really, really important to have a solid plan and to keep revisiting that plan, and to make sure that you're taking a sustainable amount given the market conditions that you're in. So that's when a financial advisor is really going to come into their own, because they're going to be able to help you with that. They're going to be able to run these kind of simulations for you and help you understand at your current rate of withdrawal how long your money is likely to last, and also build a plan to help make sure that you never run out of money. So I hope that this calculator is really helpful to you. Always, you can reach out to us if you have any questions, and take care.